Hey guys, how are you all doing? Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a really exciting video. So there's a trend currently where people go on this website called Tier Maker. I'll link it down below if I remember. And they basically just rank books. And so I thought that I would do that. And so today I'm going to be doing ranking BookTube's favorite books. So I went on Twitter and I asked you guys to tell me what the first books you thought of when you thought of popular BookTube books. And I put some of those in there, and I also put some that I just know are popular. I have missed some that you guys tweeted after I already made this tier list. But yeah, I'll also try to remember to link this actual list below if you guys want to do your own ranking of it. But yeah, let's just get started. So I have it pulled up here for you guys so you can watch me as I do it. So let's just look at the different tiers that I have. So we have a God tier, which just means like absolute favorite amazing book. So that's gonna be like reserved for like my most favorite of these books. And then we have great tier. So it means that it's great, it's a favorite, it's just not quite at that God tier level yet. Then we have good, so just good books. Average for meh books. Trash for when I hate a book. And then we have a haven't read section because I have not read some of these books. And just like a little disclaimer, these are all my own opinions. I'm not going about it like, is this genuinely a good book? Does this genuinely belong in this category? It's all my own personal feelings, so let's just get started. So the first book I have here is Carry On. I love Carry On. I have 2 copies of it. I annotated it recently. I really love Carry On. And also these are subject to change. Like I probably will end up moving them around a little bit. But I think for right now, I'm going to put it in good tier. Just because I know that a lot of these are going to be great in God tier. And I don't want to overwhelm those categories, you know? The next book is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I love this book. People love it on BookTube. They hype it up so much. And yeah, people just love it. And I don't know where I want to put it. I don't know if I want it... Okay, I don't think it's God for me. Even though I really enjoyed it, especially the audiobook. I think I'm going to put it in great tier for right now. Well, it feels weird putting that above Carry On, but that's what we're doing. Then we have A Court of Mist and Fury. So this is one that people, I think Peyton said this one and a few other people. Somebody said ACOTAR, but I feel like people like ACOMAF way more than ACOTAR. Like if people don't like that series, they still like ACOMAF. So here's my issue. I had a weird experience reading ACOMAF because I started it when it first came out, I think, and then I put it on hold and then I just didn't get back to it. It took me like a year to actually like sit down and just read the damn thing. And so I feel like I didn't get like a full look at the book. I still really liked it, but I don't know if I would still like it now. It's gonna go in good for now. I'm just gonna put it in good. Okay, so then we have A Darker Shade of Magic. I co-hosted a Victoria Schwab readathon back in September, and I read A Darker Shade of Magic for the very first time. And while this book in particular was a 4-star at the time, I still really love it. And as a series, I might just count it as like the entire series maybe. I think it's great. I don't know, I just really loved those characters and I really connected with it. And it's kind of one of those like, one of the first higher fantasy books that I've enjoyed in quite a while. So I think it's a great tier book for me. Like I think it fully belongs in that category, at least for right now. We'll see what happens by the end. Then we have Children of Blood and Bone. I have not read this one. So I actually purchased it almost right after it came out. I was like super excited, super hyped. I was like racing down to Barnes & Noble so I could get the exclusive edition. And I have it. And I started it. I think I got like 40 or 60 pages into it, and then I just realized I wasn't in the mood for it and I really wanted to enjoy this book, so I put it down and I just haven't gotten back to it yet. Then we have Cinder. I feel like we all know how I feel about Cinder and the Lunar Chronicles. I am obsessed. So for right now, that's also going to go in great tier, although I might move it to God tier. I just need to think about it and see what else I decide to put in God tier. I feel like I'm being really picky right now, but it's fine. So the next one is City of Bones, but I'm counting this as the Mortal Instruments in general because people didn't say City of Bones, they said TMI. So for all the Shadowhunter books, we're going to go with the entire series as opposed to just that first book. So City of Bones, Mortal Instruments. See, I realize that it has its problems. I do. But I'm currently in the midst of rereading it, and even though I realize that it's like got its problems, I'm still really enjoying it. For now, I think I'm going to put it in good tier just because I don't think it quite belongs on the same level as the books that are currently in great tier. So we'll see. The next one is Clockwork Angel, the Infernal Devices series. I love the Infernal Devices. I'm currently rereading them. I'm reading Clockwork Princess right now. And I really like it, but I think it's also got to go in good tier. I can't really explain why that is, but I like the characters. I actually love the characters. I was reading Clockwork Princess yesterday in my living room, and I just couldn't stop laughing at Will, and my dad thought I was crazy. But I think because just the actual plot itself, I mean, I do like the actual plot, but I read it more for the characters than the plot, you know what I mean? So it's gonna go in good tier for now. I might as well just go on to the Dark Artifices, which is this one right here. So we've got Lady Midnight, Dark Artifices. I think I might like it slightly more. I don't know. I think I'm still gonna put it in good tier though. I think that might be my favorite series out of them all. I'm not too sure. I think it might be. So for now, it's also just gonna go in the good tier. But this is really hard. I didn't think I would find this video that hard to do, but it is. So we have Harry Potter, and I feel like, you know, it's just gotta go in God tier for me. I know a lot of people won't agree because right now there's a lot of controversy surrounding J.K. Rowling, so people are kind of finding issues with Harry Potter and not feeling as in love with it, but I've got 2 bookshelves dedicated to it right here that you can't see, but we all know I love Harry Potter, so for me it's just gotta go in God tier, whether that's because it's actually God tier material or because it's just nostalgia or because I just love it to death. I don't know, but it's God tier. Don't fight with me. Okay, so we have an interesting one. So we have Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I don't think that this is currently like a BookTube favorite. I have not heard anybody mention Miss Peregrine's in a really, really long time, except for Jessie the Reader. Even though I think the books are still coming out, or like when the last books just came out, I have no idea. But here's the story with Miss Peregrine's. I read it for the most part. I think I had like 50 pages left of this book and I just could not make myself finish it because I was so bored, and I really hated the relationship between our main character and this girl that he meets, because the girl is basically his like grandfather's like ex-girlfriend, and it sounds really weird, but there's like a time warp thing going on, and so he ends up meeting his grandfather's like ex-girlfriend and ends up like falling in love with her, and I just found that really creepy to think of, and I just didn't find the book interesting. I thought it was confusing. So for me this one's actually trash because I DNF'd it, and I think it's trash. That's where it's gonna go. Then we have Nevernight, and I haven't read this one, and I actually don't plan to. Originally I did plan on reading it because there was a lot of hype for it, but it is a high fantasy. I've heard it's quite dense and confusing, and then Peyton recently read it and didn't like it, or she tried to read it. I don't know if she actually finished it, I can't remember, but she didn't like what she read at least. And I don't think it's a book for me. High fantasy is already super difficult for me to get into, so that one is haven't read and I don't think I'm going to. Okay, then we have Red, White, and a Royal Blue. This one I think is, good or great. Because I really love Red, White, and Royal Blue, but I had a problem with the writing style. Not necessarily the writing style, but the tense it was told in. I think it's third person present, which is not a tense that you see very often, and it was kind of hard for me to get into. Like, I would be reading it, and if I was reading for a long time, I would get into the flow of it and I wouldn't really notice it. But if I were to put the book down for even a second just to like check my phone or something, I would like be jolted, like trying to get back into it. So I think for that, I have to put it in good tier. Ooh, this feels like blasphemy. Okay. This is really hard. The next one is Scythe. We all know that I love Scythe. I have not read the Toll yet. I think it's great tier. I'm being so picky with my God tier. I thought I was going to be putting way more books up there, but I can see some books down below that I know I'm going to put in God tier. But I think Scythe for now is going to be great tier. Again, it might change, but for right now it's going to go in great tier because I love the world. I don't love the romance in it. I think it's really unnecessary, which is weird because I'm like a huge fan of romance, but this one, I feel like this book could have done without the romance in it, but I do like the characters, so it's going to go in great tier for now. Okay, Shatter Me. I love Shatter Me, but I think it's also got to go in great tier and not God tier. I feel like Shatter Me is not as popular anymore either. I think I added this one. I don't think anybody recommended this one, but it used to be really popular. And there's still one more book coming out. It's coming out at the end of this month. But I don't know. Yeah, I think it belongs in great tier for now. I'm being so picky. This is so odd. Okay, here's a God tier book. We got Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda. We know I love this book. I've read it, I think 5 times now. 4 or 5 times, and I absolutely love it. It's just such a good book. It's so funny. I love the movie as well. It's just purely a God tier book. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there are just some books where you just look at it and you just know that it's a God tier. That's this one. It 100% belongs in God tier. If I were to put it anywhere else, I think I'd be lying to myself. So God tier. And then we have Six of Crows, and I have not read Six of Crows. Funny story, I own Six of Crows. I've hauled it on this channel. And the weird thing is I wasn't planning on buying it, and I wasn't planning on reading it until after reading the Grisha trilogy. But then I was at Barnes & Noble buying, I think it was Children of Blood and Bone actually. And the employee asked me like if I was doing okay, if I needed anything. And then she just like recommended me Six of Crows and would not stop talking about it. And she was so persuasive that I just like, I had to buy it. Like I felt like I would be betraying this Barnes & Noble employee if I did not buy it. So I bought it knowing full well I wanted to read the Grisha trilogy first. Then I was talking to Haley, who is somebody that I talk to on Twitter sometimes, and she said that I probably should just skip the Grisha trilogy because it's not that good. So I think I've finally been convinced to just read Six of Crows and not the other trilogy. So we're going to read Six of Crows at some point, hopefully this year or next year, and see how it goes, but for now, haven't read. Same with The Cruel Prince. That one is also a haven't read book, and I don't plan to. I've read 2 Holly Black books now, if you don't count the Magisterium trilogy that she wrote with Cassie Clare, and I just don't like her writing. I don't like her books. I don't like anything about Holly Black's books when she's writing on her own, and I just know from what I've heard of The Cruel Prince that I'm not gonna enjoy it, so that one is haven't read and will not be reading. And then we have The Raven Boys, and I'm kind of conflicted on this one because I'm obsessed with this series, but I didn't give them 5 stars, so I'm like, do I put it in God tier? But I feel weird putting that above some of the books that are in great tier, so I'd have to move books around in great tier if I were to put The Raven Boys in God tier. So for now I'm gonna put it in great tier. Like, I love that cast of characters with my whole freaking heart. They are my children. I would protect them with my life. Excellency. The Fault in Our Stars, I feel like this is kind of controversial, but like I said, this is my own personal opinion and not the actual book itself and how good it actually is, but I'm putting The Fault in Our Stars in God tier. I can already hear Julia yelling at me for putting it up there, but I just love The Fault in Our Stars. I know that it's weird, and I know the characters don't talk like normal, like 17-year-olds would talk, but I just love it so much, okay? I can't explain to you why. I thought that if I were to reread it now, I wouldn't like it, but I reread it in 2018, and I still loved it, so I'm just gonna, it's God tier. I don't have to explain myself to you. I'm gonna put it in God tier, and you're just gonna have to deal with it, but that's that. Then we have The Hunger Games, and if this was Peyton doing this list, she would put that immediately up in God tier. But me, I recently reread it and I really loved it, but it's not God tier level. Peyton, don't kill me. Catching Fire might be, but The Hunger Games I feel like it's just a great tier. I feel like it's a great tier book. Throne of Glass is average, because I used to love Throne of Glass. It was one of the first books that I read on my channel. You guys can go see. I think it was in my first library haul on this channel, which was my first video ever. And I don't vibe with it anymore. It was just not as good as I remembered it being. It was really bad, actually, but it's not trash. It does not belong with Miss Peregrine, so it's just average. The Hate You Give, that one is God tier, I feel like. It's just excellency, you know? Angie Thomas did something with that book, and it's good. It's God, okay? It's God tier. I feel like I don't have to explain myself to you guys on that one. That one just makes sense, I think, for most people, if not everybody who's ever read it. Okay, and then we have the last one, which is To All the Boys, and I'm gonna put this one, I think, in good tier. I have some rearranging I think I need to do, but I'm gonna put it in good tier. Purely because I reread it, and I still freaking love it, but it's just not on the level with some of those books in great tier. You know, it's just kind of like a fluffy, fun thing, so it's just gonna go in good tier. Oof, that kind of hurts. Okay, so let's just reevaluate for a second. So I still agree with all the books in God tier, but it's kind of the books in great and good tier that I'm kind of feeling like I should flip-flop on. Or maybe not, I don't know. This is way harder than I thought it was going to be, but let's reevaluate. Okay, so The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Excellent. But I wouldn't say it's like a favorite book of all time. It was a favorite book of last year, but I don't think it's an overall like absolute favorite book. Maybe if I were to reread it a few times, it could potentially reach that like God tier level for me, but I think it is just a great tier. Dark Shade and Magic, I think I still stand by it being there. You know, Cinder, I'm trying to think of it as like a series whole and not just that first book. I'm acting as if this is like life or death. Like if I were to put that in God tier, I think it just have to be a feeling that I have, and I think it is God tier for me. Okay, I think I'm okay with this ranking now. But now I'm thinking about A Court of Mist and Fury. Like, does that deserve to be in good tier or should it be an average tier? Because I did really like it when I read it. But what I still... I want to move to average. Oof. Oof. If there was like slightly less than good category that I made, I would have put it there. Because I just don't think it deserves to be on that same playing field as the other books in good tier, you know. But it is better than Throne of Glass, from what I remember. I think I'm gonna put Lady Midnight up in great tier, actually, The Dark Artifices. But I think everything else should stay where it is. So this is my final ranking. This is it. This is what it is. Okay, so that is the end of this video where I ranked some of BookTube's favorite books on Tier Maker. Like I said, I'm going to link this specific one down below if you guys want to go ahead and rank these exact books yourself. And then you guys can maybe send me a screenshot on Twitter. My link's always down below if you want to show me how you ranked your books and how they differ from how I ranked the books. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was actually really fun to make. I didn't even know this website existed until like a few weeks ago, but I am currently obsessed. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a huge thumbs up. Comment down below if you agree with my ranking or if you think I'm way off. Like I said, it is my own personal opinion. It is my own personal opinion, but yes. Subscribe if you have not yet already, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!